The Theatre Nation Partnership brings together Wolverhampton's Grand Theatre and the National Theatre with The Curious Incidents of the Dog in the nighttime on tour at schools and educational establishments across our area. To tell us more, Cathy McGar, hello.
Hello.
Now, you're in it.
I am in it.
And what are you doing in it?
I play Siobhan.
Mm-hmm. Now, Siobhan is the educational role for the main protagonist in this.
Yes, yeah, she is the educational role.
Well, I'm being slightly vague there because you've talked a bit about whether it's a teacher or whether it's a key worker in some way.
A key worker, yeah. Because she feels more than a teacher, really, because she kind of really guides him through his life, and I think that they are friends, or certainly someone that he trusts more than anybody else. And she also, not only is it kind of teacher scenes with the protagonist, Christopher, but also she narrates from the book, and she's kind of speaking his mind as well throughout.
Because it's a big story, and Christopher is suspected of having something to do with the dog that's met its end.
Yes, I mean, how much do we say?
I know, it's what you can give away because it is an amazing story. I have seen the full stage production, and it is truly, truly moving, inspiring, and so entertaining as well. And the energy that goes into this piece is phenomenal.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. It's a lot of energy.
Yeah.
And a lot of heart.
But Shiv has to do that as Christopher in this, doesn't he?
Yeah, I mean, Shiv, who plays Christopher, doesn't... I'm just going to put that down there.
Okay.
Doesn't get to leave the stage for the whole time, and he is physically always doing something as well as emotionally and verbally. So, yeah, it's a heavy role for him.
So how does this version of it work? Because we were actually going to see in these school productions a 90-minute version of the production, and normally you would expect it to be around, what, 2.5 hours, I think?
Yeah, so I think the West End version and the tour version has been 2.5 hours with a 20-minute interval.
Yeah.
So 40 minutes has been cut, so we have a 90-minute version which is straight through for schools.
But no one's been able to spot which bits aren't there, have they? Which is because it's been done so well.
Yeah, well, exactly, seamless. And I think the story still completely holds, and the essence of, what's going on is all there. So, yeah.
And it must be an exciting and enjoyable one to work on because you know the story. I mean, I'm going to guess that you may well have read the book beforehand.
I did read the book beforehand, very much.
So you've already fallen in love with all the characters.
Yes.
And are there any characters who people who've read the book may not see in this version that you can think of, or is it really just maybe less of the backstory for some of them?
Yeah, because it is a shorter version, we can't have all of the characters, but I think there are enough characters that pop up and pop out and ping out in the play in this version that will satisfy your, experience.
And it's about bringing it to life for those schools who are attending on something they will have read. And I think that's, again, it's good for them to see how this can exist in different formats and be part of the education around a play. And obviously the National Theatre really does want to make sure it is getting the youth of our nation to understand what goes into theatre and how it is about understanding a play as well as telling a story.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. All of everything you said there. I think it's very important that it's going into schools and enticing new audiences and introducing new audiences around the country to theatre and the National Theatre's work, and it feels very exciting to be doing that, and I think this is a very special production because it's in the round, and we often get asked, what's it like doing it in the round? Which is great, so they're already thinking like, okay, theatre isn't just end on, it's in the round, and you can help create the atmosphere of what is going on stage.
And remember not to look at them anywhere they happen to be around you, because
Yeah.
it's that fourth wall that can be quite tricky. But are you also getting some sort of feedback as well? Because as we said, you're in the educator's role in this. So are you then getting questions what it's like to play a teacher by some of the teachers?
No, I haven't had that question yet.
They've been quite well behaved, have they? They've just sort of looked on in awe and thought, yeah, I'd love to be able to teach like that.
Yeah, I mean, I assume so. They're awestruck.
I should think
Silence.
so. But is the research there? I mean, obviously you've had teachers in your time, so you know that you've been taught. So do you think that throws into a role like this?
I think so, but also just humanity and truth, and really understanding what you want, or what Siobhan wants for Christopher,
Yeah.
and really just honouring that truth.
Well, it's an amazing story. It's an amazing play, and the National will have done it proud. I'm sure you guys are doing a wonderful job with it. And really, I mean, talking now is a chance to explain what does go on, because people don't necessarily see what the National Theatre does behind the scenes, as it were, in this case. And when it does come into a school like this, it is about building an understanding of arts up for future generations. And it must be great for you working in this industry to be able to say, well, look, this is how great it can be being part of it, and come along and see.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. All of that. There's not, if you can inspire the next generation to become, work in the arts, and there's so many different roles that they could be getting into, not just acting. And I think especially because there's lots of cuts around the arts and in schools, that it's just such an important part of everyone's education and life experience.
Yeah, make sure that there's something there. And even if that you're educating kids on the arts who aren't going to go and work in the arts, it's still a good confidence booster, and they still get to understand. And there's something theatrical in pretty much every part of life, whether you're just making life fun when you go to Sainsbury's, or whether it's helping you to be a little more upstanding when you're doing something in the world of work.
Completely. And just with your confidence and thinking outside the box a bit.
It can make a massive difference. If you want to find out more information about any of the work that the Grand Theatre does, just pop along to the Grand Theatre's website, grandtheatre.co.uk. There are links on there to all of this sort of work, and of course the links with the National Theatre as well. But for now, Catherine, thanks for having a chat.
Thanks very much, Jason. Cheers.